So I'm now in a special laboratory within the University of Glasgow, which, as you can probably tell, needs to be super clean because here they bond the glass to the glass, which, as we saw for the gravitational wave detectors, is very important. So I'm going to meet with Marielle van Veggel, and she is a specialist in bonding glass of glass. Hi, nice to meet you. So could you just explain to me briefly what you do and how this works?
Okay, so in the research I do hydroxide catalysis bonding of silica parts to the size of mirrors. Right. So earlier you have seen how you weld fibers to the size of mirrors, and their ears bonded to these sites, and this bonding, hydroxide catalysis bonding, is the bit that I do.
So how did you get into this research?
Oh, well, that's quite interesting, because I used to do a PhD in the Netherlands on a project called Gaia, and it's a space project in which there's a telescope spinning around in space trying to measure these things, and the telescope is going to be built completely of silicon carbide.
Oh my goodness, wow.
And that's quite difficult, and one of the techniques we were researching was hydroxide catalysis bonding for this. So during my PhD I got help from people in Glasgow to bond silicon carbide together with the similar technique as for the silica.
So up until now, well, until you finished your PhD, you hadn't really dealt with gravitational waves? Or
no, not at all. No.
Are you glad you got into it?
Yes, I enjoy it very much actually.
That's good. So could you just briefly explain how the bonding process happens at all? Okay,
so I first start off with the fact that the ears and the disc have been cleaned very thoroughly beforehand, but just to make sure that there's no dust specks on it, I wipe it with methanol with this optical or this clean room cloth. So I put some methanol on and carefully wipe the surface like so, so that all the dust is gone. Carefully inspect it. And we also very carefully clean this ear. And the sides of these are very, very, very flat. You know, nanometers flatness.
Right. What do you mean by a nanometer flatness?
If you see this ear here and you look at the flat side and you imagine scaling that up to a football field, then you would want to be this football field so flat that it was only lifted up by like one hair.
Oh wow.
So that's how flat it would be. After we've done that very carefully, we have this pipette, and we put a little pipette tip to that, and then I dip this inside there to suck up a little bit of bonding solution, like so. And then I carefully place a drop of this bonding solution on top of the surface. Bonding solution is a hydroxide. And hydroxide has a property that it etches glass. And in this hydroxide is also silicate, which is like dissolved silica in there. And when we put this drop onto there and then place the ear into contact with that, the hydroxide starts reacting with the glass, and it etches and then wants to bond the silicates to the glass itself. And then you get chains and bond them together.
Right. Wow, that's very interesting. So where do you get these silica plates from? Do you make them yourselves or do you buy them from other businesses?
No, we don't make them ourselves because it's too specialized. So we need to go to a business that are specialized in cutting glass and polishing it very, very flat to the tens of nanometers we were talking about before.
I mean, this is all very high tech. Do you work with industry businesses outside often? Or
yes, we do, because we are looking for very specialized samples to make things of and then bond them together. And so we don't have that specialty. We do need to get their help.
So will you go to the detectors at some point to bond the glass there, or do you send it away?
And we have bonded for the prototype in MIT. We have bonded the mirrors, the ears to the mirrors ourselves. But for the advanced LIGO detectors, I will go over to support, but the people there will actually do the bonding themselves. So we will teach them.
Oh wow! But you get to be there and you get to see it all.
Yes.
Yourself.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
Really cool.
Yeah. Do you like working with international collaborations and big collaborations, as we've found out?
Yes, it's very interesting actually. Especially LIGO, it's a very friendly collaboration. So people are very keen to work together to make this project work.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Which means that it's very pleasurable, very nice to work.
Are you one of the youngest in the collaboration? I mean, I've talked to completely different age groups over the last few days. So.
No, well, I guess I'm in the younger range, but
right.
not the youngest, I suppose.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No, because there are people in here that are 18 years old and start working in this. Yeah, and I'm a couple of years older than that.
But do you encourage younger people to get involved, and do you see?
Yeah, absolutely. As the younger you are and get involved, the more kind of experience you get about all the different aspects of gravitational wave detectors, and especially on instrumentation, there's so many different elements to it. It's not only just the bonding, but it's electronics and suspensions and metal work, etc., etc. So.
Right. Well, thank you very much for taking your time to talk to me today. Thank you.
You're welcome.